What's happening with the human species? Let's get into this. Dr. Robert Cassar, eartheracademy.com. Okay. What's happening to the human species? Can you see that there's definitely been a change since the 1960s, 1970s? Because I was born in 1961, so I see lots of change in those decades of life, 6 decades of life, and I see a massive change. So if you just go back to just watch the commercials in the 60s and the 70s, and that was the consciousness back then, okay? You know, when you see that inventions are coming out, right? Now you got a Vitamix, now you've got a washing machine, now you've got a dishwasher, now you've got all this technology that's changing the way you look. Why is that? The old days, remember, why is the species like it is? Convenience has changed us in a way that hasn't helped us, I don't think, too much, at least physically. Remember, why is everybody so overweight? Just a question. Why is everybody so overweight? Remember, we've talked a lot on different videos. Toxicity has a lot to do with being overweight. Being sedentary, of course, has a lot to do with being overweight. Just, well, not being active. Remember, all that convenience has slowed you down. It sped you up in your mind, but it slowed you down physically. So this is why it's a must for everybody, since you've got washing machines and vacuum cleaners and every gadget to be able to make you lazier and lazier. Remember, TV dinners came out. Okay, everything was prepared for you, processed foods. All you got to do is just open up the bag and add water. Okay, these are all conveniences, right? Fast food stores, okay, or fat food stores. Remember, why is everybody overweight? So one of the remedies would be, since everybody's really not doing that much anymore, sitting on the computer all day and doing a lot of things that really are mind control, because you're not really getting anything done in this world, the physical world. Okay, so one of the things you may want to do, well, before I even get into that, okay, well, no, let's go ahead and touch on that. Look, since everybody's so sedentary, everybody should be doing some form of exercise every day. Even getting up in the morning, I do like a 10-minute stretching, rolling on my roller pin to crack my back, just unwind myself and do maybe 2 sets of 20 push-ups. Okay, that winds me up, and I'm not just doing fast push-ups, I'm just doing them to stretch my back out. I do the 20 push-ups and stuff, but I'm stretching everything out to get myself going for the day. That's why you take a hot shower in the morning a lot of times, right? It's because you feel bloody stiff. So another reason why a lot of people are super stiff right now too is because you're eating way too many veggies. Okay, this is what happened to me. Remember, I did 15 years solely plant-based and raw most of the time. And I didn't really understand too much about what's called phytic acid. And if you're eating plants, especially a lot of plants and not plants that have been, well, fermented or anything else like that, to be able to remove the phytic acid, then in time, remember, phytic acid is like phosphoric acid. Okay, phosphoric acid is what I put on my containers that have rust on them. Okay, the big shipping containers before we paint them. Anytime I get rust, we put OSPHO, which is phosphoric acid. So phytic acid is a similar type of acid to the body because it demineralizes your bone, makes you so you can't go ahead and absorb calcium, magnesium, zinc, okay? All different types of minerals is because the phytic acid is toxic to the body, and a lot of people have no idea about this. See, in order for you to break down phytic acid like animals do, animals make an enzyme called phytase, and phytase neutralizes the phytic acid so the animals can make sure they can absorb the plants. Remember, if a plant has phytic acid, like, well, let's just look at any plant. Look at kale. Kale's, forget about it, it's loaded full of oxalates, which are poisons. Okay, oxalic acid, another acid. But it's also got a ton of phytic acid, and phytic acid makes it so the plant can hold its minerals. Okay, it doesn't wash out in the rain, right? And if you eat phytic acid, what happens is it holds your minerals and makes you so you can't absorb anything. Your body doesn't make any phytase at all. Okay, it doesn't make it. And if it does make it, well, I haven't seen it in the literature. I've seen a few things that says, oh, vegans and vegetarians must make it to be able to process. No, this is why you wind up getting a messed up stomach in time. This is what happens. Okay, this is what happened to me. So I had tons of phytic acid in my body. Okay, this is just an offshoot here. Okay, but why is everybody so bloody sick? Remember, it goes deep. Remember, there's skeletal problems. Look at everybody walking around now. Why is everybody so bloody stiff? Like I said, why is everybody getting hip replacements and knee replacements? What's going on? You're not even athletes, people. How'd you wear it down? What, sitting on your can all day? Think. Remember, we talked about parasites eating the inflamed tissue that are in the body, spirochetes. Watch our other videos that we've done on that. Degeneration and parasites. Is there a connection? Okay. There's a lot of videos I just did on parasites here just lately, just to be able to open up your mind. But getting back to the stiffness, because this is everybody. Okay, your body has a lot of phytic acid from the plants that you're eating that are non-processed. And I'm not talking processed, put into a fast food garbage. Okay, remember, grains are loaded full of phytic acid. All seeds are loaded full of phytic acid. So all your seed oils that you're eating, okay, those are poisonous to you. And this is what hurt my gut. Remember, the tons of phytic acid I had no idea about, not that much. Remember, I was hoodwinked too. Remember, this is my daytime and nighttime job, to be able to learn about what would be the best diet for me, trying to be you can call somebody that wants to achieve more than the average person, right? I'm working out. I need to make sure that I absorb my food. And if I'm having phytic acid in my food, I can't absorb the food. Okay, this is a big problem. And there's many other factors that go along with this, but number one factor is the phytic acid. So how do you get rid of phytic acid? Remember, phytic acid's in all seeds. Okay, it's on all beans. Okay, phytic acid, you gotta soak them for a long time, maybe like 2-3 days at least. Change the water 4 or 5 times. That'll help get some of the phytic acid out. Remember, again, phytic acid is a poison. It makes you stiff. It demineralizes your bones. It gives you a lot of different diseases. Okay, in your body, hardening up your body. Remember, kidney stones, gallstones, arteriosclerosis, atherosclerosis, all these different muscle pains, joint pains, muscle stiffness. Okay, you wake up in the morning, you can't touch your bloody toes, and you're only 20 years old. What's the deal? You're 60 years old or 40 years old, and you're limping like crazy all over the place, and 50 years old, and every other person's got a hip replacement. Could it be possible that the phytic acid that's in your high vegetarian diet, your high vegan diet, especially raw vegan, okay, you're eating tons of phytic acid, and what you're doing is you're pre-aging yourself. I did it to me. It took me 2 years to fix my gut from the damage that I did doing long-term plant-based. Okay, look, if you want to have plants, then do as the old school people used to do. And I'm talking old school, just back in the 50s and 40s and 30s. Look, everybody fermented their plants because they know they're poisonous. They took the skin off of the tomatoes just because it's full of lectins. Okay, they peeled the potatoes before they used them, and they used the potatoes or cooked the potatoes in a pressure cooker to get rid of the poisons in the roots. Remember, polyphenols are poisons, and a lot of times people think the more polyphenols I eat, the better I'm going to be, and that's not the case. Remember, poisons are very detrimental if you take them constantly and you take them all in high dosages. Remember, it's the dose that's the poison. A little poison will make you stronger once in a while. Okay, not every bloody day. Remember, turmeric is a poison, bacopa is a poison. These are super high oxalate products. Cacao. Okay, everybody's eating a ton of different types of foods that are loaded full of oxalates. Okay, almonds loaded full of oxalates. Spinach loaded full of oxalates. Cabbage has 49 pesticides in it. Okay, I'm just making you think a little bit. So if you ferment, and loaded full of phytic acid, but if you ferment the cabbage and make sauerkraut, that's why it's bloody healthy. It's because you got rid of some of the anti-nutrients. So this is just, helping people get started. A lot of people come to Earther Academy now because we got a lot of new people, and they want to clean up their act. Remember, your body's your temple, or actually your church. These are your temples that are supposed to go ahead and help align the church, get it in shape, right, for the future, and not treat it as a toxic waste dump as you see most people walking around. Remember, if you're overweight, it just means you're toxic. It means you're dry. Okay, you're dehydrated. It means you probably have way too much estrogen in your diet. Estrogen. You're eating too much soy. Remember, all these things have loaded full of phytic acid. If you have fermented soy, that's fine. It's got lower phytic acid. Okay, it doesn't remove it all, but it lowers it down. If you sprout, it lowers it down. But the problem with soy, the problem with flax, the problem with beer, remember, hops, is because it's a phytoestrogen. Phytoestrogens are plant estrogens, and estrogen does make you fat and makes you very emotional too, unsound. So you see a lot of men with boobs. Watch our video on high estrogen society. Watch also another video I did to Rethinking Reality, just boosting, your testosterone, especially if you're a man or trying to be a man, right? And if you're a female, you need testosterone too. You need a blend of it. And if you don't have testosterone, guess what? You're not producing pheromones. And pheromones are what make you want to mate, right? What makes you want to mate. And men, if you don't have testosterone, or you have just a little testosterone and a ton of estrogen, and estrogen doesn't care what kind of estrogen it is, plant estrogen, chemical estrogen, which is in a lot of the petrochemicals, bisphenol A. Remember, these are weapons. All fragrances, they're estrogens. And I'm talking synthetic fragrances. These are estrogens. So don't be hanging up the little Christmas tree in your car. Okay, why? It's because all you're doing is smelling an estrogen-scented chemical. And you wonder why you feel so bad. Remember, estrogen makes you feel, and testosterone makes you do. Okay, remember, the city was built with testosterone. It wasn't built with any estrogen. Okay, maybe a little blend in the males, but who do you think dug all the ditches and the pipes and sewers and put the electrical in and planted the trees and put the grass in? And who do you think maintains everything? It takes testosterone to do that. And some girls have a little more than guys do, just because there's not too many men anymore in this world, right? It's because we have a high estrogen society. So, anyways, getting back to availability of minerals. Okay, this is one of the things you want to get in your head. If you're starting out on wanting to be able to clean your house, that's a big job. Okay, you just hit it a little bit at a time. Remember, cleaning your house means maybe reducing the amount of parasites in your system, reducing the amount of poisons you put in your system, like sugar. Okay, I'm gonna go work out right now, and guess what? I got myself, again, my sugar here. I got an orange, and I got some organic raisins down there, and an orange off the tree. I'm gonna use some of that sugar for an hour and 15 minutes and do some intense exercise so I could use my machine. Intense exercise. Okay, I'm 62 years old coming up here, and you got to have exercise in your world now, since there's so many bloody conveniences. Look, I'm driving to the gym. Well, before, if I didn't have a car, guess what I used? I used my bicycle and I stayed in shape. And before, I had to ride my horse, right? And you just keep on going back and back and back, whatever it is. And maybe you had to work on the farm. Maybe you had to do a lot of physical things like dig holes and do whatever it takes to do the farm. If you want to be sustainable in the world, you need some testosterone. Okay, let's say you want to be a homesteader, right? Do you think estrogen is going to make that homestead? Remember, you got to build fences, you got to build a house, you got to build a sewer, you got to go ahead and make the place so it's sustainable. You got to feed the animals every day. You got to do what it takes, and that takes a lot of testosterone to keep all that going. It just does. Okay, so anyways, if you're first starting out, water is super important because, remember, eating is one thing, and why are you stiff? Maybe because you're eating too many unprocessed plants. You got to sprout any seed. If not, it's super toxic, loaded full of phytic acid. Okay, remember all the beans you're eating. Okay, you think Taco Bell or any of these places are number one using organic beans? Those things, remember, are desiccated with glyphosate. All your grains are loaded full of not only phytic acid, okay, and that includes rice. They're loaded full of glyphosate. Do you know they use glyphosate, which is Roundup, okay, on the plants to dry them up just because maybe it's going to rain next week and we got to dry this field up because we can't process the wheat when it's all still green. So we dry it up with a weed killer. And so a lot of oats, a lot of rice, a lot of wheat, a lot of things are loaded full of glyphosate. Give yourself a break today and don't have any glyphosate today. It's real simple. Okay, and where's glyphosate? I'm just jumping all over the place. It's because, like I said, it's a big deal here. It's not just one little piece. Okay, is glyphosate in your beer and wine? Look that up. Glyphosate levels in beer and wine. And if you're going to drink beer, then don't drink, number one, any beer that has hops in it. Remember, hops has estrogen in it because hops is a phytoestrogen, and that means plant estrogen. There we go. We're in the city now. Jeez, I'm in the zoo, in the circus here. So, anyways, like I said, there's a lot to talk about. I'm just trying to let you see that each department that you're going to want to clean up, we call terrain modification, you're going to want to learn about. And we've got a lot of videos on our Earther Academy YouTube, but also the meat and potatoes and a lot of the things just to be able to get, you know, if you're overweight, then learn the fasting protocols. It's it. Okay, it's real simple. There's a lot of different ways to lose weight, but it's not just cutting out some of the crappy food you're eating or less calories, but it's changing your lifestyle. You got to change it up, not down. Remember, that includes exercise, stretching at least. Okay, it includes a lot of different pieces of the pie here, and part of it is detoxification. Detoxification, again, goes deep. Go on our tab on detoxification at Earther Academy and check out the subcategories, and you'll see there's a lot of things to work on if you want to detox. Have you ever done an enema before? Okay, show you a lot of different ways to do enemas from start to finish, and different types of compounds that you can use to help yourself with detoxification. Have you ever cleaned your skin before? Remember, these are for newbies, okay? And I'm talking not taking a shower, cleaning your skin. Have you ever cleaned your skin before with the alcohol vodka solution? And if you haven't, you're missing out. Remember, ectoparasites are parasites that live on your skin, and everybody's got pore parasites. Pore parasites, they make you smell. When you rub your skin and it smells sort of weird, maybe could it be possible that that's the excrement? Okay, when you sweat and you're underneath your arms is green stuff coming out on your white t-shirt. What do you think that is? Yeah, it's dirty water, and a lot of it is parasite feces in your body. So taking out the heavy metals, we just did a video also on parasites and toxicity. Is there a connection? Is there? Let me get this thing off the rack here. Is there a connection? So if that's the case, again, Okay? What are you going to do to help yourself detox? What are you going to do? Check out this car right here. This thing's been sitting here for a couple bloody years. Now it's, you know, yeah, I guess no one even wants any parts off it because maybe it's just too junky, but it's been here for a long time. Anyways, such beauty. You know, seat back a little bit. Water is a huge piece when people are first starting to clean their act up. How much time am I going here? Okay, water. Just go for a couple more minutes and I'm going to go work out. And I might as well have some of my fruit while I'm talking here so I can charge up with my sugar. And I eat it 5 minutes before I'm going to go. So we're going to end this quick. Let me take this bloody seatbelt off. I hate being constrained, but the rules are the rules, right? I just want the juice, no fiber. Remember, I don't need the fiber sitting in my gut. Remember, fiber is another anti-nutrient because it absorbs a bunch of stuff inside you because it's fiber. You can't break it down, it's insoluble. Your body tries to break it down and you get a bunch of gas. Huh? You eat beans, right? Beans are good for your heart. The more you eat, the more you fart. The more you fart, the better you feel. So eat those beans with every bloody meal. And be potent, right? Instead of being important. Because if you're potent, that means that, well, you can rule the room, right? So water is super important, okay? Drinking clean liquids. So if you're overweight, you may want to go ahead and just drink liquids all day. And I got a lot of liquids of vitality that I've done, you know, showed people. That was like 7, 8, 9 years ago. Okay, that's just simple stuff. Liquids will help you clean. And if you're super skinny already, you don't need to do a lot of liquids. Remember, you need to rebuild yourself. Get off of the veggies a lot. Okay, get rid of the phytic acid so you can absorb some nutrition and go on like I had to go on. I had to go on an animal base, and I'm talking all organic, nothing, no garbage. Okay, I don't want any processed things, grass-fed beef, grass-fed organs, you know, liver's the #1 pharmaceutical out of every piece of biology that's in any animal. The liver has all the nutrients in it, okay? Remember, there is not any vitamin A in plants. Those are precursors. Okay, like carrots, they say are good for your eyes. If you can break down the beta carotene, that's why you turn orange, right? Because you can't break it down. If you can convert it over to retinol A, maybe you can. Maybe 3, 4, 5% if you're lucky. Okay, you want to stay young, you need retinol A. And where are you going to get retinol A from? Are you going to buy it? You're going to go to Mexico and go buy a prescription? Okay. Grass-fed liver. Okay, chicken livers, they got to be organic though. Loaded full of vitamin A, loaded full of vitamin D, loaded full of vitamin E, loaded full of vitamin K, creatine, all the different stuff that basically your body, it's a pharmaceutical warehouse of different types of oils, okay, and different types of oil-soluble vitamins that your body needs in a lot of amounts, especially if you're bloody malnourished. And if you've got any type of a vegetable diet, you're not getting hardly any nutrients at all, especially, again, if it's raw. You eat kale, okay, it's good for, they say it's good for you. Now, kale's made for sheep. That's what it was made for. It's loaded full of oxalates. It's loaded full of oxalic acid. It's loaded full of phytic acid. Yeah, it's loaded full of calcium, too, and you're not going to absorb any of it, okay, or magnesium. It is. It's got a lot of stuff in there. But you need to ferment it. So why don't you maybe ferment that poison for, I don't know, maybe a month, and maybe it'll be okay to eat. Okay? They made kale, invented that. Remember, these are inventions of man. These aren't godly plants. Godly plants, kale, right. Where do you think zucchini came from? Where do you think broccoli came from? Where do you think cauliflower came from? Do you think these came from the creator? They came from man. Another quick thing on phytic acid. Look, if animals eat too many of the processed foods that we feed them, and they've got way too much phytic acid, the animals get sick. And a lot of people that have animals make sure they even feed their cattle phytase. Okay, phytase, which is an enzyme that'll eat up phytic acid. Yeah, if I was in the supplement business, the superfood business, just in market business, I would make up a phytase enzyme, okay, which you can buy, and you would take that with your meal if you're a vegetarian or a vegan, guys. It's because you want to get rid of the phytic acid out of your system, and since you don't make phytase, well, maybe you may want to put a little bit in, or quit eating it altogether. Like I said, it took me 2 years to heal my gut, and that was with saturated fats and animal products, raw dairy, butter, cream. I stopped a lot of things, okay, all my spices except for salt, because I had to heal my gut. My gut was terrible. Remember, bleeding intestines, okay? And again, there's lots of people that can contest to this. Lots of people, okay? Especially those, remember, I did this for 15 years. Yeah, you want to hear a good story? How long can you go thinking that you're an herbivore? And if you don't exercise, maybe you can go way longer because your body, you're just sitting around doing nothing anyways. But if you exercise, do you think you're going to have peak performance? I don't think so. And any vegan, guys, you have to be suspicious to any person that says they're a champion vegan. And they're a vegan and they're a champion boxer, a champion runner, a champion of anything. And if you are, it's only because meat built you before and dairy products built you before. Okay, eggs, the miracle, built you before. Okay, all these saturated fats built you. And real bioavailable proteins built you. Okay, then you went, what, vegan for 3 months and you say you're such and such? I bet you have a big steak all the time is because you know that meat is loaded full of the things that give you strength, like creatine, right? People take fake creatine. I used to take that crap from China. Okay, tried to find other types of, why don't I just have meat? Okay, instead of try to take a synthetic supplement to be able to think that my body's going to break that stuff down. Remember, creatine's only one piece in meat. You've got creatinine, you've got all these different types of things that are with it to make it so maybe that makes it bioavailable. Okay, it's like vitamin C. Okay, is it absorbable? Well, I think maybe through fruits, okay, through the white rind, okay, the bioflavonoids and all those pieces, of course. But do you think citric acid is? Okay. Vitamin C in a chemical form? Why are you putting that in your body? Remember, these are synthetic chemicals. Your body knows it can be tricked by synthetic chemicals, but it can't break them down. So the only way you can take this stuff out of your system is you better drink a lot of good clean water, like distilled water. And the next best water to have, and if you don't have a distilled water machine, we got some on our recommended products. When you do join Earther Academy for $10 a month, cancel anytime, we give you a $100 credit so you can use it in the store. We don't make, we don't make any money. As long as I break even and give you guys a better deal on it, that's fine. I don't care about making the $100, okay? So we give it to you in our private club. And pick a distiller out, okay? If not, remember, the second best water to get is RO water. RO, reverse osmosis. Watch the video I did on my home health sanctuary, and you can see how I sort of set up my house. Okay? Remember, your house is your sanctuary. Make it so. Okay? Make it so. Jean-Luc Picard. Make it so. Star Trek, right? Once you start drinking clean water, remember, bottled water is garbage. Remember, it's got estrogen in it. Okay, what do you think? The plastic bottle. Plastic bottle's got all different types of chemicals that make the plastic bottle, and different types of chemicals that harden up the plastic, that leach out into your water. It just does. So you're putting micro amounts of these different types of chemicals, and you wonder why you're so fat. You wonder why you're chubby. You wonder why you're plump. You wonder why you feel lazy. You wonder why maybe you got even pimples on your face. Okay, you wonder why? Step up and at least filter your own water. Remember, if you live in the city and you got fluoride, guys, you got to get a fluoride filter on your RO system. A distilled water machine, you got to clean the thing every like 6 weeks or so with just pour some vinegar in it, let it sit in there to make sure, because your water, your house water that's coming out of your tap is freaking filthy. And that's all the contaminants. After about, a month and a half of that, you got to dump it. So anyways, people have no idea. Look, you put clean water in your body, you quit putting in a lot of garbage in your body, which is processed foods. Okay, just eat as natural as you can. And natural means cook at home. At least you're doing that. Even if it's, garbagier food, try to cook at home. Try to do organic if you can afford it. If you can't, then eat less. Remember, it's all got chemicals. You think your chicken doesn't have vaccines, hormones, and antibiotics? Okay, do you think your cattle don't? Okay, come on. Buy from a local farmer. Okay, and if you have chickens, guys, watch out for this. I'm going to do a video on this. But if you're feeding your chickens, you go to the feed store, right, and you buy yourself a 50-pound bag of laying chicken pellets. It's made for chickens that are going to lay eggs. Yeah, read the fine ingredients. Read all the ingredients. That's fine. You'll know it's got soy in there. It's got a lot of different crap in there. That's estrogen. And it also has a small little label on there, and it says, do not feed to your males, to your roosters, to any male, because that'll make them so they're going to get sterile. So why are you eating? If you want to be sterile, it's a good thing. You want to get fat, it's a good thing. Eat a lot of estrogen. So I know people come home and they drink 6 Modelo beers. Look up Modelo and the amount of glyphosate that's in Modelo. Look up what they, it's the same with Budweiser. It's the same with Miller beer, remember? If you're going to have a beer, then have apple cider beer. And look up the ones with the least amount of glyphosate in them. Look up apple cider beers, alcohol concentrations, and glyphosate levels. Oh, we're on the magic 33 right now. 33.3333. Okay, I'm going to go work out. Remember, clean water in, which means now you need to sweat that stuff out. You're going to pee a lot. Okay, that's fine. But you want to clean yourself out and detox yourself? Get a sauna. And you can buy cheap saunas. We have them on our recommended products list. And I've bought a bunch of these just to be able to try them. Anything that's on that list, I've already bought. Okay, so you can get a small portable sauna. You can get the one at Costco, like the one I have. It's about $1,200 or so for a 3-person when they're on sale. I got mine on Black Friday. But you can get these other ones. They're portable ones, and you get the extra large size, so you got a little room in there to move around. And they're like $250 or so. And you use that every other day for the first month. And you'll lose 5 to 10 pounds just of toxicity just from doing nothing more than sweating. Okay? And if you lost 5 to 10 pounds and you didn't change your diet, what do you think you just lost? A bunch of toxicity. A bunch of things in your body that was dry. If you took blood sample, right, and you looked at your blood, most people, guys, just because you drink a gallon of liquids a day and you're drinking tea and coffee and you're having sodas and you're having all this fake Sunny Delight crap and all these different types of things, right? Okay. Sugary lemon, whatever it is with NutraSweet. Okay, that's all garbage. It's poison. Garbage. Anything that's got a sweetener in it is garbage. You don't need it. Okay, and after you get a lot of the parasites out of your body, remember, body fat's a parasite. It makes you crave sugar. It makes you crave eating grains. It makes you crave eating all the things that are made from grains, pasta, rice. And if you are going to have rice, it's way better to have white rice than the hippies. And I used to go ahead and say this too. I didn't know. Brown rice is full and intact, and it's full of phytic acid. It hasn't been processed. It's got the shell. The shell of the seed, okay, of the rice, remember, is cadmium. And all these grains are loaded full of phytic acid. They need to be processed. So pressure cookers are one of the better ways to see if you can get the phytic acid out of vegetables. Remember back in the 40s and 50s, everybody had a pressure cooker. I just bought another one. Okay, you want to have potatoes, you peel them, and then you put it in the pressure cooker for like 25 minutes. Okay, and then if you want to put it on the grill to brown them up a little bit, brown them up then. It's all for flavor. That's all it is. Potatoes, butter, salt. Just reminds me of mama. There's no nutrients in any of that stuff. None of it. It's poor man's food. Remember, it makes you go to bed at night with a full belly instead of go to bed at night with an emptier one. So potatoes, rice, beans, okay, those are the fillers. Just like when you have a premium cigar, they've got filler, it's called tobacco. You've got wrapper tobacco and binder tobacco. Okay, and the stuff that they wrap the outside of a cigar, that's all the flavor of the cigar, 95% of it. Okay, the binder is what holds it together. The flavor is the wrapper, and the stuff on the inside is just low budget stuff. Okay, that's called the filler because it's fill. Okay, like Hamburger Helper, it's fill. Makes everybody go to bed at night with a full gut, and it didn't cost us that much. But we ate a bunch of stuff that maybe even in the old days you didn't have as many pesticides and different things, so basically it didn't do you that much harm. You didn't do that much good either. But now those processed foods are loaded full of a lot of garbage. Again, phytic acid. Okay, look that up if you're not familiar with it. Okay, look up oxalic acid, which are oxalates. Look that up, and that binds, those two elements, those anti-nutrients, bind to the minerals in your food, and you're not getting squat. You're not absorbing anything. So you can see a lot of vegan people and vegetarian people. Why are you fat? Why are you fat? It's because you're eating a bunch of things that are trying to make you look like mock meat. It's all made out of soy. If you're going to eat meat, just eat the bloody meat, right? Why would you want to eat stuff that reminds you of eating that when you just all of a sudden watched Earthlings and you watched some animal porn, slaughter porn, and now you're trying to emulate what, a piece of steak? Trying to emulate a hamburger? Okay? These are all processed garbage foods with tons of crappy seed oils in them. Okay? Anyways, enough. Going to work out. I had my 2 little pieces of cacao this morning, so all revved up. But I get a lot of questions from people. How do I start my terrain modification program? Slowly. Learn. Okay? The raisins. And remember, you're just chewing these things up. Raisins, you don't swallow the pieces. That's how you get gas. You chew it up and you swallow the saliva, and you just keep chewing and chewing and chewing and chewing until you break it down to nothing. The enzymes in your mouth, amylase, right, different types of enzymes, start to help break down the sugar. So my body can absorb it. If I don't have those enzymes, it's going to break nothing down. Just ferments, gas, indigestion. Headaches some people got. Sugar high, sugar low, go to sleep. As much sugar as I had in here with 1 orange and just a little handful of raisins, I'm going to go use every bit of that energy right now for the good, instead of sit on my arse. Okay? And you wonder why you're gaining fat. Because you have all its premium fuel and you're not using it correctly. Premium fuel. Just keep chewing this stuff and chewing. I can swallow it right now. It's just mush, right? But I don't want to. Same way when I'm eating a steak. I don't swallow anything. I'll just keep chewing and chewing and chewing and chewing. If I get down to a little piece of tendon, I'll take that and chew it and break it apart in small little parts. Because I want to absorb the tendons, the fats. And those fats and different things, look, you eat the heart like an organ of a cow. It's loaded full of mitochondria. It's loaded full of everything that the heart is made of, right? You eat the liver, you heal the liver. You eat the kidney, you heal the kidney. It's pretty simple, okay? Instead of you thinking that you're going to eat a bunch of plants and your body's going to go ahead and try to convert all the things it needs. No, it needs to steal it from another machine, a healthy machine, a non-infected machine, okay? Your liver's bad, then you need to eat liver, guys. Just think of it. Okay? You need to eat the components and not denature the crap out of them. Okay, denature means fry it up to nothing. Remember, you're going to destroy the genome, but you're going to get the nutrition. But if I want to try to help repair my body, then I'm going to eat more rare, because I don't want to denature the protein. I don't want to destroy the mitochondria, the nucleus. I don't want to destroy the myoglobin, the structures inside the meat. So if I have a thick piece of meat, I'll just sear the outside, and then the inside. But it's got to be a non-infected animal. And either way, remember, parasites are going to go ahead and find their way into your house no matter what. No matter what. Just like cockroaches will find their way into your kitchen in your life many times. Why? It's because your kitchen was dirty and you brought one in. It got in, and then it had babies, and then it had more babies, and then you turn the light on at 12 o'clock at night to go get yourself a snack, and you see 1,000 cockroaches, and you didn't see them during the day, not a one, just little black dots over everything, and you didn't know that was cockroach poop. Getting on everything, and you wonder, okay? Cockroaches, they pass so many parasites, okay? So do snails, so do rats, so do just about any insect, mosquitoes, or anything else. You have to do detoxification. You have to do parasitic programs at least twice a year. And like I said, I got about 160 pages so far. It's like a book on anti-parasitic medications, protocols I've learned, different things to be able to teach you, and or maybe even doctor, okay, about these tried, safe, and effective methods that have been used for 40 plus years through billions of people, not just animals, but people. Okay. Anyways, time to go. All right. Whew. I'm going to work out, let's see, chest, shoulders, low back, abs, and it'll take me to do all that, probably about an hour and 10 minutes. And I'm doing, like 12 sets for chest and probably another 12 sets for shoulders. And I don't have to use a lot of weight. Remember, all I have to do is use my muscles and push the right way, not just stupid weights. I see these young kids in here just playing around. Okay, all with their phones on and their iPods on. And guys, all you're doing is giving yourself radiation poisoning, okay? I come to the city here, remember, I am suited up. I got my silver underwear on now. You think I'm kidding? Look. Those are silver underwear. See it right there? Okay. 42% silver, because I want to protect my boys from microwave. And I don't ever use my phone. I just don't. I got hard-lined everything. I'm using my phone now, like I said. It's not on. It's just on airplane mode. And if you do put your phone on airplane mode, make sure you shut off your Bluetooth and your Wi-Fi too. If not, it still does. You can't hear it, but the machine is sending out microwave, because that's what that is. Remember, all Bluetooth, all wireless things are 2.4 gigahertz. It's microwave. 2.4 gigahertz means 2.4 billion, not million, billion pulses per second. Okay? Smoke that in your pipe. Okay, that's it. We'll see you guys. Aloha, and we'll catch you on the next video. Whew.